Going on, everybody? This is the Wisdom Matrix, and this video is going to be about the importance of seeing the downs of your life for what they are, and also why you should, not necessarily should, but it'd be a good idea not to see the downs as bad or whatever. So, let's just get into it. So basically, what I found over the, couple of years that I've been doing spirituality and, meditation and all these things, so what I found when doing all these things, especially recently, is that the downs are necessary. I used to get, I don't know if I could say upset necessarily, but I suppose this is the word for it. Not necessarily upset, but, like guilty, maybe, like I'm not doing this right, something like that. And basically what I've learned is that life proceeds in what you would call cycles. And so basically what this means is that the downs of life are pretty much inevitable. This is not a maybe, this is like a definite, like these things are definitely going to happen. This down period is going to happen. But what I've also learned too is that it's not the ups that you gain a lot of wisdom. I mean, you do sometimes, don't get me wrong, you do gain some wisdom, but it's actually with the downs where you gain the most wisdom. Because what's happening is that the downs are created and manifested by the soul so that parts of your filter or the mind or whatever you'd call it, parts, I wouldn't call it the mind, because the mind is the mantle for the ego, so to speak. You could think of it as like the room, and the ego would be like the decorations and the couches and all this other stuff in there. So basically, the spirit is getting rid of the filters of your ego if it can, and it will get rid of them to a lesser or greater extent, depending on how conscious you already are or whatever. So the more, sometimes the stronger the down, the more wise you become afterwards, because these downs are how you keep your wisdom in place. Or not how you keep your wisdom in place, but the ups are how you keep your ego in place in a lot of ways. I'm going to make a video about the dangers of happiness later, because there are some dangers, especially if you, I don't want to say fall into happiness, but, this is true for peace to some extent too, but, this is why awareness is important. But that's another story. I'm going to make a video about that later. But anyways, so how do you find this wisdom? How do you find it? How do you deal with the downs more effectively? Well, one thing is to realize that these downs are going to happen. They're inevitable. Another way is to, see the downs not as problems, but as a process a learning process in some ways. Or actually, learning is the wrong word, but a remembering process would probably be a better word, because you already know everything, as a spirit. You just don't remember, or you don't know that you know. And your filter blocks out a lot of the, knowledge and wisdom of the soul. And then, that's why I made the video I made yesterday, the healing power of compassion, that, unblocks a lot of this stuff. But the downs, they have, they have their uses. They're what keep you from going too far, or straying too far from your soul, basically. I mean, not that you can stray from your soul, but it keeps you from, straying too far from your soul. I mean, I suppose it's the best way of describing it. You could think of it as like, you do have a lot of freedom as a mind, but there's this sort of thread that connects you to the soul. I mean, it's not quite how it works, but this is more of an analogy or metaphor, I suppose. And what the thread does is, when you go off base, or sometimes it just does that anyways, because it wants to lead you in a different direction, a wiser direction or whatever. And so it pulls on your awareness, on your mind or whatever, and basically tries to, like I said, create more wisdom for you. Well, not necessarily create it, but, let you become more aware of it. So, the downs are important, and they're necessary, even. So, like I said, one way of dealing with this is, like I said, realize that the downs are going to happen. Another way is to see it, like I said, not as bad or as a problem, but as a process that is happening, for the, I wouldn't say the greater good, but, because your soul has a mission, whatever that might be. Whether that's to become more loving, or, become, enter the fourth density, or the fifth density, or the sixth density, or whatever. Or whether that might be to do something in a certain way or something. Who knows what your soul's mission might be, or not necessarily mission, but your soul's desire, I suppose would be the better word for it. And so, this is what creates these downs. They're just a normal part of, the process. So, anyways, this is the Wisdom Matrix. If you like this video, please like it. Share it with other people if you got some kind of benefit from it. And subscribe if you want to see more videos from me in the future. This is the Wisdom Matrix, and I'll see you in the next video.